and it remains unsettled even today at the expense of that sole inventor, while one person who is named as the first listed inventor in these 8 patents, he has been drawing not only huge compensation, has been enjoying a very senior position, and has also been receiving royalty for each license of the technology of the 700 customers in these technologies that the company has. I will now just conclude on this matter. As recently as 2009 and 2010, the appeal filed after the judgment, an incorrect judgment given by the US Federal District Court, San Francisco, on the basis of a biased filing that was made in the court system. Despite providing all the clear evidence of sole inventorship, gave an incorrect judgment in favor of the company, and that judgment was endorsed by the Court of Appeals Federal Circuit. Also, independently, the inventor filed an application in the USPTO, and that application was abandoned after the inventor's account, electronic account, we were talking about the private payer, that private payer account was annulled, and the application was left abandoned despite paying all the fees. I'm sorry to draw your attention to this unfortunate situation, Mr. Stoll. So that's the reference case that I wanted to present to you, which was a 7-year-long effort. I don't know. I'm just left with 2 more slides, and I think. Now, in the patent litigation within the U.S. jurisdiction and Japan, I have learned about two reference cases. One case from the Court of Appeals Federal Circuit, where the judgment given by the district court was reversed in favor of the inventor, the co-inventor, primarily on the basis of the reputation damage that the inventor suffered. Likewise, there is another case which is Tronzo versus Biomet, where there was significant punitive damages that were awarded in favor of the plaintiff. Another classic case which sent a chill through the Japanese market in favor of the blue light-emitting diode material invented by Shuji Nakamura, where the judgment of $200 million was given in his favor. After he complained that the amount of $200 that his company was giving was unreasonable in comparison to the amount of business the company was making. So now we are approaching the end. When we look at the contrast of situation of patent litigation in US and in India, especially when we are in this environment of global integral environment, or in an effort to create harmonization and integrating communities and geographies. For companies, especially Indian companies doing business in US, litigation, as Mr. Liu, again, I am reminded of his wonderful comments, it can get personal and whatnot. Those costs can be prohibitive. So much so that those companies are forced to close their offices in the US. And the attorney costs in the US can be prohibitively high. Based on the experience that I just described to you, I believe it is very vital for the various parties involved, the judicial system, the businesses, and all the legal community, the business leaders, to allow the flame and the spirit of businesses to remain alive. And that can be only done, I think Mr. Anand, Parveen Anand was talking from Anand and Anand, that these durations should be shortened. That's the only way to keep the time. I am making an arbitrary